Welcome to part 2 of Mega Man in Base. I've already explained that I will be taking on Colt Man, and there's 3 Robot Masters you can go to, and you can only go any further by beating one of the Robot Masters in the path. Now, there are items that we can get. However, there's only 6 of them. 4 of which are good, 2 of them are bad. Now, for the 4 that are good, the 1-Up. It costs 50 bolts, but definitely good if you want to survive this game. Also, the Energy Balancer, that's definitely good as well. If you are running low on energy, you can just pass it around to the weapons with the lowest energy. The exit parts will allow you to leave a stage that's already beaten, and the Shock Guard will keep you from dying immediately from a spike, but only at one time, because if you're still in spikes, you're gonna die. Now for the 2 worst parts, which is the Item Presenter, which sets a gumball somewhere on in the stage, and it's random, and of course you're not going to be able to use anything good out of it. And next you see the Transceiver, which will give you advice much like the Mega Man Collection, Anniversary Collection HUD. The difference is you need 2 parts in order for Roll's Transceiver to work, and you won't be able to do that until you beat 3 Robot Masters. Speaking of which, we're gonna face our first one, which is Colt Man. And Colt Man has a nostalgic feel to those who have played Mega Man 8, and that is the fact that Colt Man's stage is reminiscent of Frostman, save for the snowboard section. Oh yeah, wait till I play Mega Man 8. God have mercy. Wily Stage 1 can suck a dick. Anyway, the whole premise of this is we're just using, not the whole premise of this stage. Wait, what was I saying? Oh yes, while the stage itself doesn't have ice physics, there are ice blocks, however, that break whenever you try to step on them. So you only got a limited time to stay on them before they shatter. And of course, those bunny enemies aren't going to make things any better. Now then, I almost forgot about the amount of bolts you can get. The small bolts are 1 and the big bolts are 10, and the even bigger bolts are 100, and I just fell straight into a pit of spikes. Perhaps I should have bought that that spike protection, even though it was only 10 bolts. But I'd rather save that because I personally want to have the exit parts, and I really think you should get the exit parts early on so you can grind bolts to get better items. Anyway, I may have died just now, but also keep in mind that I wouldn't have recorded this part if I would have beaten the game. Also, sorry about that, that was my ringtone from my phone. I almost forgot to mention one other thing about this stage. There are spikes that have ice platforms, and yeah, you get hit and get knocked off the spikes and the platform shatter, you won't be able to get back up. Anything else I was going to say? Oh yeah! There are things called CDs that are here. And those blocks that you see, those ice blocks, that is impeding me from going any further, those specific ice blocks actually have CDs within them, provided you haven't already gotten them in a different file. That's the one thing about this game I am grateful for. If you're going for collectibles and you've already collected the collectibles, then that limits the amounts of collectibles you need to get. And those CDs are practically bios of every Robot Master that existed from Mega Man 1 all the way to Mega Man 8. Or should I say Mega Man in Base. Now that's also a CD only Mega Man can get. And now we've come to the mid-boss. The mid-boss can only be hit in the head. That's the only way you can actually affect him. Base's pea shooter may make this fight longer than what it needs to be because of the fact that it does minimal damage. But by God, when Base gets all of his improvements, this boss will be an actual joke. However, you have to watch out for the fact that this guy will constantly jump on you, suck you in while trying to blow out miniature snowmen, and will try to crush you. It's not instant death, however, it does hurt a lot. And if you're caught right next to him, it'll just wipe out your entire health. I mean, that does sound like it's a Kaizo trap, but in a way, since it's not, because you have time to dodge. Until that is, the snowman does bullshit like that. And to make things even worse, I'm down to 2 health. Lovely. And I just got killed by a Met Tool. Lovely. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I apologize for the frame rate drop. This may definitely give me some thumbs downs, but I don't know what happened here. But this particular this stage right here had ridiculous frame rate drop. Even though it played normally during the recording, the frame rate just shit the bed. Now that too is also where our CD is going to be, and I just showed off how you can easily eliminate an enemy that happens to be in the way by off-screening it. Yeah, that actually worked in Mega Man 2 and 3, by the way. Especially 3. Now, you can just shoot through the platform in order for you to make things a little bit easier for you, but that one enemy that slides around the ground, that can only be killed by the wave burner. The ice can also be melted by the wave burner as well. And speaking of ice, these ice dispenser machines, do not stand on the icicle. They will end up knocking you into a cliff, or worse, crushing you into a wall, which will deal more damage to you. So, yeah, be careful of that on the way here to Coalman. Speaking of which, Coalman! This guy actually has a semi-decent pattern, but this is Mega Man in base, so obviously he's going to be challenging. Challenging as to you never know when this guy is going to jump up while he's pushing the ice block to you, and he will run into you, like so! Now, if I actually had the pattern down locked, I would be able to defeat him. But on the first try. But, no, that's gonna be the second try. Son of a bitch, I didn't mean to jump on him. Oh god, I got frozen again! The things I do. But, he's going to practically be doing the freezing, the, jumping into you, and also the, god damn it! Also the ice block there, until that is, he's at half health. And I'll discuss more on that in half health, but for the time being, I will mention this. Just about all of the Robot Masters have a desperation maneuver. His is sort of bullshit. And yet, he is one of the easier Robot Masters to deal with. Actually, for Mega Man, he's a mandatory Robot Master to deal with first. Especially considering Coalman's power, the Ice Wall. And again, I'll get more into that once I beat him. But again, be careful of the ice. The ice isn't damaging, it's just going to freeze you. The only thing that freezes you, that will do damage, is the ice block, the ice wall itself, sorry. And of course, the fact that him jumping into you. That's the only things that will do damage. Alright, let me get out of the way of that. Oh god, I got hit again, didn't I? Oh, I got frozen. And now we've brought him down to half, which means one thing. He will eject a enemy that will turn into a cloud that will attach itself to base and prevent you from firing, as well as stunt your jump and stunt your dash. So you'll be practically walking and not being able to shoot. That is bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. So now you have two things to focus on. One, the ice wall coming your way, and two, the enemy that's going to nerf your stats, which will pretty much make you a sitting duck for Coalman until you can get that monstrosity off. So it's your best bet is just to shoot it and shoot it down. This will catch a lot of new people off guard many times. And Mega Man can actually have the biggest problem of them all, as to while Mega Man can chew down Iceman's health, Mega Man cannot shoot diagonally. Which in turn would be advantage base in this boss battle, but Mega Man will have to actually wait till the thing comes near him to shoot. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we're done with this, and we've got the most badass weapon get pose of all time. Base engulfing himself in purple flames. That is freaking awesome. And we get the cold wall. Now, the ice wall. Why do they call it the cold wall? Anyway, the ice wall will be a enemy killer, but at the same time, it is also mandatory for Mega Man to get through most of the stages because of the fact that Mega Man does not have Rush with him, except for Rush Search, but he doesn't have Rush Jet or the Rush adapters. So yeah, that's that bullshit for Mega Man. And Base, just beat a Robot Master. However, nothing else will show up until you beat your second Robot Master or you get the first Screw. Now then, I will be getting the exit parts because off screen I'm going to need it for the energy balancer. Because goddamn, I'm gonna need it after I beat Burner Man. I almost forgot one other thing about Coalman. He's also weak to Lightning Bolt, but we don't get that until later on in the playthrough. But for the time being, I'm going to call it a game. In the next episode, we're going to Hell, aka Burner Man stage. This is RV Man 98.